Hey y'all, it's me again. Welcome to Mortician's Tale. This is a game I got from the Racial Equality and Injustice bundle from Itch.io. I think that's what it was called. Yeah, Racial Justice and Equality bundle. And, you know, if you are looking for ways to contribute to the Black Lives Matter movement and to help out the protesters over in America, this is a really good way of doing it, with the added bonus of getting like 1,000+ games. So, I mean, there's no reason not to do this, you know what I mean? All the proceeds that go into the bundle go directly to the Community Bail Fund, as well as the Legal Defense and Education Fund. So, yeah. If you're looking for other ways to help out, I will link the Black Lives Matter card info down below. There are a lot of petitions to sign. Pretty fucked up what's happening over there right now. So let's all try and do our part. Anyway, A Mortician's Tale. From my understanding, this is a game where you play as a mortician. You do the usual mortician stuff, which is tend to bodies and run a funeral home, attend funerals, get to know their loved ones, etc., etc. And apparently this game has a pretty unique perspective of death in the death industry. So yeah, let's just play it. Ooh. I got mail. Hello and welcome to our new funeral director. From Matthew Jeffrey to Charlie. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet ya. My name's Matthew, and I'm mainly going to be the man who delivers the bodies to ya and helps with some of the more heavy lifting. Ever hear that joke about a hearse driver? I'll tell it to you when I come by in a bit. Looking forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy is a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck. Rose and Daughter's Funeral Home. From Amy Rose to Rose and Daughter's staff. Hello everyone, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our new funeral director, Charlotte, or Charlie as she told me she likes to be referred to. Charlie is a recent graduate who came highly recommended and is eager to begin her career here with us at Rose and Daughter's Funeral Home. Please take the time to make Charlie feel at home within our little family. We'll have a nice catered lunch this afternoon so we can all get to know each other a little better as well. Okay, is that the one I read? Hello, Charlie. Well, you're new here, so it's probably best I explain where everything is. In your office preparation room, you find your cremation station, cremulator station, embalming station, and obviously since you're reading this email, your desk and computer area. I know you have experience working with these stations, but please let me know if you have any questions. Best, Amy Rose. Jen Love. Good luck, you beautiful and smart babe, you! I guess my subject lines to you should start being more professional now that we are business professionals. I can't wait to get your reply so I can see your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight after graduating. It sounds super cool. I didn't even know mom and pop funeral homes were a thing until now. Guess it's just not something I really think that much about. I should look more into this, learn more about your world and industry because, as I said, you are now a very serious professional. Speaking of being a professional, a museum gig is amazing. I can't believe somebody paid me to move to London, and not London... What? And not London on... I don't know. Serial killer capital of Canada to work in a museum. Like, take that everyone who said I couldn't get a job with an art history degree. I'll tell you more about it when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and that you hear my excellent British accent impersonation. Also, I signed you up for a funeral's monthly newsletter. Consider it your graduation gift. I love you. I'm super proud of you, gift. Love you, love you, love you, Jen L. Museum curator, London Pathology Museum. Wow, that's great. Oh, I can respond. Hello, Charlie. Hope you settled in okay so far. Matthew should have dropped off your first body for you to work on. He said you were really friendly and he's glad to have someone young and lively to work with. You'll get used to his sense of humor. Your first body is Mrs. Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has asked for a closed casket funeral, so no embalming or body preparation is necessary. Is that how it works? I guess. The family seems a little bit more united than previous families we've dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes things a bit easier if that's possible. That being said, although you will not be embalming Mrs. Garcia, I do think it's important to take the time to clean her body. No one is going to see her body, but I like to encourage my funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and their loved ones. You'll find Mrs. Garcia in the prep room. Talk soon. Dear Mia, of course we will— Oh, from the bottom up. Oopsie. Dear Amy, we're happy to be with Rose and daughters for my mother's funeral. We understand that there are usually procedures that must be followed in these situations. But if you could kindly not embalm my mother, that would be greatly appreciated, and we will proceed with a closed casket for the service. I just know she wouldn't have wanted her death to have any negative effect on the environment, and since she fought so hard to beat her heart disease and to live healthily, it would be a shame to have her final moments to be counter to the way she lived. There's an ant on my desk. Thank you for anything you can do to help us in this matter. Best, Mia. Dear Mia, of course we will happily oblige to your request for no embalming and for a closed casket. I'll ensure our funeral director receives your requests. Take care. Okay. What's this? What's a monthly thing? Thanks for subscribing. Each month we bring you a new newsletter featuring a topic pertaining to the death industry. So this is like a trivia thing? This month is all about good etiquette for attending a funeral. I really can't believe we have to write this one out, but since we said we'll answer your most popular questions, here we are, because this is definitely one of the most popular questions. Funerals are a hard time and we understand that, but here are some quick and easy rules to remember for being respectful at a funeral. Generally, following the guidelines of don't be a jerk should work. Don't be on your cell phone. We understand you're busy, but there is a time and place to disengage. If you have to be on your cell phone, don't do so inside the funeral home. Don't be loud and obnoxious. You can share happy stories, but other people are also grieving and working through their own healing process. Being quiet gives other people space they might need. Don't get drunk. Everyone can deal with their feelings in their own ways. Just remember to be respectful when with the grieving family and friends. Happily reminisce. Sometimes remembering happy moments and positive experiences with the deceased can be a productive part of the healing process. Give condolences. It's not easy knowing what to say to someone, but even a simple "I'm thinking of you" can go a long way. Dress appropriately. What this looks like will change based on the customs of the deceased and their culture, but always dress in a way that shows respect to the deceased and their grieving family. Give a gift or sign their registration book. This can be flowers or a nice card, but it's the thought that counts here. Sometimes this can be even just cooking dinner for the grieving family. Anything that shows you care and want to help them through the healing process is what matters here. Be kind and be helpful. Okay, that's all our mail. What's this? Oh, this is our, thing? Oh, a website? Founded by my grandparents back in 1956. The Rose family has proudly served the area since then, providing personal, affordable funeral services. Carried on my family's business for the last 36 years. Wow, that's a long time. Working with the best and brightest funeral directors and grief counselors in the area. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you recently experienced a loss and would like us to help you through this hard time. Here at Rose and Daughters Funeral Home, we're committed to providing loved ones the best and most affordable funeral services in the area. We offer a diverse range of personalized funeral service options to fit your need. Burial open casket. Wow. Cha-ching. Burial with closed casket, ceremony reception, cremation with ceremony, direct burial with no ceremony. Huh. Direct cremation with no ceremony. Actually, it does seem pretty affordable. We also offer custom packages to suit every budget and need. Please do not hesitate to contact. Alright. Anyway, let's reply to our boss. Oh, there she is. Well, let's go and take care of the body. This is the prep room where you will prepare bodies for burials and viewings. Because the family has requested a closed casket ceremony with no embalming, you were just going to clean the body. Click on the sponge and drag it over. Okay. Where is it? This one? Oh. I can't even imagine doing this in real life. I feel like I'd be too scared to do this. That's it, you're done. Mrs. Garcia will be sent to Mike, who will take care of dressing and putting her in the casket. It's time to go to Mrs. Garcia's funeral. You are responsible for taking care of the deceased's body, but it is also important to pay your respects to their loved ones. Follow the arrow to head to the funeral parlor. Yeah. Oh, this arrow. Okay. Oh. Hello. Yeah, I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. Embalming weirds me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground? Seems strange to be using a chemical that is known to cause cancer and putting it into the ground like that. Or into the sewer. That's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain? At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Stop it, don't make me laugh right now. Jesus. Mommy, I'm hungry, where can we go? Oh, what? Great little... I hate wearing pantyhose, my legs are so itchy, but it's always so cold in these funeral homes. I think I might actually miss those sweaters she used to knit for me now. Aw, where are you alone? We usually don't talk a lot at these things, at least that's what I was always taught. She would have hated these paintings, she was so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess you could say that. Is this me paying respect? Oh. I guess that's it? I didn't know morticians actually had to show up to the funerals. Okay, got another email. I'm cleaning a thing. I got 2 emails. Okay, I just... What? I got some new shit. What to wear when you're attending a funeral from a different culture. We all know everyone wants to be respectful at funerals, don't talk too loudly, be kind, smile, and refrain from making inappropriate jokes. At least around the grieving family. Hey, sometimes some people do need a little bit of a pick-me-up during such hard times, who are we to judge? And a big part of that is knowing what to wear. Roman Catholic funerals tend to lean more to the formal, black attire rule. And it works for us. Did you know this goes back to the days of the Roman Empire, where people would wear black as a symbol for mourning? Black isn't universally the symbol for mourning, though, and if you're attending a funeral that is from a culture that is not your own, it's important to understand this. Some colors have different meanings, and despite your best intentions, the wrong choice could mean accidental offense. For example, in Hinduism and in Chinese cultures, white is a typical color for funerals. For Islam, though, it is less about the color you are wearing and more about how modestly you are dressed. Refrain from wearing any elaborate jewelry and be respectful of your behavior. For Sikh funerals, color of the clothing isn't as important, as is dressing modestly and being able to appropriately sit cross-legged. Actually, being respectful is just the #1 rule for any funeral, no matter what, really. Remember that, and please don't hesitate to ask what is and isn't appropriate to wear. If you are attending to support a friend, family member, or partner, this day is not about you, so be sure to do whatever you can to be as respectful and supportive as possible, even if that means not wearing what you're used to wearing at a funeral, or even if it just means asking how you can appropriately show your respects. Hey there, Charlie. Or a story about death. What the hell? Okay. Is this still the same? I mean, I guess. Hey there, Charlie. I was driving around the other day, you know, taking our clients under the last trip around town, and I was thinking, strange, I know. Did I ever tell you the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed, in a car accident totally out of the blue. Really tragic stuff, messed me and my friends up real good. But so the big day, we all got into our best suits and dresses and packed ourselves into a few cars. There were a lot of us, so we had at least 3 different cars full of us, like clown cars, you know? While we're in the procession going to the cemetery, somebody in our car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out some asshat driver who doesn't know to not get in the way of a procession drove through the intersection and smashed straight into our friend's car. Nobody was hurt, thank God, but can you imagine getting that call? Anyways, one of my friends in the same car as me, the one who got the phone call, hung up and started laughing. Just laughing her ass off in that way that makes you not sure if they're really just crying or if they've gone fully off the deep end. And she laughed, and then we all started giggling because, like, go figure, life is messed up sometimes, you know? There's no moral, no point to that story, I guess. I just remembered that story and wanted to tell you, because we work with death all the time and I still sometimes get caught off caught off guard by what that actually means. Oh, before I get any ideas, that has nothing to do with why I became a funeral director. The decision came totally later and is nothing unremarkable. Somebody has to do it and I have a strong stomach, so why not? I'll see you in a bit, Charlie. Alright. Hi Amy, please pass along our deepest thanks to you and your staff for the wonderful job they did with our mother's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family so rarely gets together. It was nice seeing everyone come out for such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food in. Getting to share home-cooked meals, sharing stories, being there together, it meant a lot. So what I'm saying is, it was nice for everyone to be there like that, together in that way. And I know how much of that was due to the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. Thank you for making this difficult time easier for all of us. Best, Mia. Just passing this message along. Thanks for the hard work, Charlie. What a nice workplace. Okay. Hi, Charlie. Here are the instructions for your next body. You did a remarkable job in the first one. The family was very happy with you. No small feat, of course. Pleasing a grieving family isn't exactly the most comfortable of jobs. Your next job is a man named Mr. Duval. An elderly man, died of old age. Nothing fancy, just a standard funeral with embalming. You can reach out to his daughter Lizzie Duval if you have any questions. She's handling her father's passing as well as can be expected. As always, don't hesitate to ask me any questions. P.S. Charlie dear, please remember to wear proper embalming gear. Formaldehyde is extremely dangerous. I know I don't need to tell you, but my maternal instincts are hard to ignore. I promise I won't mother you too much, well, just a little. Ask Matthew, he knows. Oh, oops, I didn't read the last one. Alright, I'm so frustrated right now. Can I rant for just a second? I'm so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, anybody, cough, male colleagues, cough, get in my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse, so it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately, even though dress codes are such sexist BS anyways. And like, I hate how their misogyny gets veiled in faux concern. Jen, I'm just worried you're damaging your body. You know what corsets do to livers, right? Corsets don't do anything to livers. They're definitely not hurting me as much as your condescension is hurting my head. Sorry, I'm out of sorts right now. I'll send you another email in a little bit when I've cooled off. Okay, so let me explain this in a little bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing the tight lacer's liver specimen we have here at the museum. It's from a woman who died in 1907, and the liver is tapered inwards from what the doctor leading the autopsy believed was too tight lacing on her corset. It's fascinating because it's kind of a controversial topic. Tight lacing was super popular, and while people associated it with fainting or hysteria, sigh, it's actually been associated with viscerotosis. What? I can't read. Visceroptosis, okay. Which is when the organs fall to the lower part of the abdomen, right? Which is super unsettling but can also be caused by being pregnant, so... TLDR, corsets probably messed up some bones, but likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage. And I'm tired of the condescension about my wardrobe that also implies I don't know what I'm doing. These are the kinds of things I specifically research, and yet I'm treated like I know nothing about. I'm having a day, Charlie. Okay, we're done with this. Let's go and formaldehyde it up. My coffee is always hot. Traditional burials typically require embalming, which preserves the body and prevents it from decomposing as quickly. Unless the family requests otherwise, all traditional burials will have embalming. Let's start by cleaning the body. Okay. Clean the body. Click on the razor and drag it over. Okay. In order to break rigor mortis, you'll have to massage the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. Like that? What does breaking rigor mortis even mean? The eyeballs deflate once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag an eye cap into each eye socket to give it shape. What? What the hell is an eye cap? To keep the eyes shut, you'll need to glue them. Click and drag the glue onto each eye. The glue onto each eye to shut it. What? Did they really do this? The mouth sags and hollows once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag a cotton ball into the mouth to give it shape. To keep the mouth from opening, you'll need to suture it shut. Click and drag the needle and thread over the jaw and close it. Damn. I had no idea they did this. Click and drag the lotion over the body to moisturize it. This prevents the skin from drying out. Embalming involves removing blood and replacing it with preserving chemicals. Click and drag the scalpel over the neck to make an incision. Alright. You're going to need a tube for draining the blood. Click on the tube and drag it into the neck. Is this not the tube? Oh, that's not the tube. Click on the cannula and drag it into the carotid artery. This is how you'll get the preserving chemicals to the bloodstream. Now you'll need to connect the embalming machine to the cannula. Grab some additional tubing and drag it to the cannula. Wait, what? How? Oh, there we go. Click the button on the embalming machine to turn it on. In order to evenly distribute the chemicals, you'll have to massage them through the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. Alright. See. This is like a really weird cooking mama, in a way. Until all of them are gone, okay. Now let's sew up that incision, click and drag the needle and thread over the incision to close it. Almost done, you'll need to drain the organs of any remaining fluids. Click on the trocar, then click and hold in the abdomen until all the liquid has been drained. This is it, right? Yeah. Oh. Oopsie. And you're done. Mike will take care of Mr. Duvall's makeup as well as dressing and putting him in the casket. I wish we could do the makeup part. It's time to attend the funeral. Alright, let's go. He's looking really blue. Abu die. Came out of nowhere. I mean, it always sort of does, doesn't it? Yeah, one minute you're laughing, having fun, and the next poof, the person is gone. Just like, gone. Yeah, it's weird to think about for too long. Like staring at the sun. I start to feel all fuzzy when I think about it. So weird. How our bodies just stop working like that. Yeah. So strange not seeing most people wearing white. White? Oh, because she's Chinese. Yeah, I think it's different for different family members. I can't remember. I haven't gone to many traditional funerals, so mostly white, but like definitely not red, no matter what. Yeah, definitely a Chinese thing. This kid's just playing DS in the corner. He always wanted to take his grandkids to the park, play catch. He loved playing catch. He threw a mean curveball, that's for sure. Hey there, kid. Humming to himself. There's always that one kid. Oopsie. Okay, let's go. Okay. And bottom to the top. LGBTQ funerals, respect. If you've been a long-time subscriber to our emails or follow us on social media, you've no doubt heard about the misgendering that transgender people are at times subjected to during their funerals. There have been notable situations where trans women have had their wishes overruled by their families and have had their hair cut, are buried under the wrong names, and subjected to the wrong pronouns in their obituary announcements. We care a lot about this because we believe in treating every person with the same level of compassion, respect, and care, and this absolutely extends to pronouns, and respecting the deceased wishes as per their lived experiences. The CDC's Funeral Director's Handbook on Death Registration and Fetal Death Reporting offers the FROT Directive. Enter male or female based on observation. Do not abbreviate or use other symbols. If sex cannot be determined after verification with medical records, inspection of the body or other sources, enter unknown. Do not leave this item blank. Leaving it up to observation, obviously, enters into a world of issues since bodies can be so different, and because of ingrained bias, people can draw incorrect assumptions based on their own inaccurate observations. California has passed what is known as the Respect After Death Act, which states that the death certificate must reflect the deceased gender's identity as they lived it, so a step in the right direction. People who are trans deserve the same respect in death that people who are cisgenders receive. Misgendering in death takes away this respect. It can also inflict hurt and trauma on spouses and friends that survive the deceased. So what can we do as funeral directors? Listen to the people who come into your office. In America, especially, some marriages may not be recognized as legal depending on the laws around same-sex marriage, but this doesn't mean you're not dealing with two people who have loved each other in the same way as another couple. Listen, learn, and always be respectful. While you have to work with the next of kin, your duty is also to ensure the deceased receives the utmost respect in their burial. If a funeral is to honor the deceased, then do that. Honor them. Hey Matthew, this is embarrassing, but it seems I miscalculated some of our income and I don't have enough to pay you this week. Would it be terribly inconvenient if I cut you a check for next week instead? If you need the money urgently, please let me know. I feel terrible about this whole thing and I could cut you a check from my personal account if need be. I'm so sorry about this, I assure you it won't happen again. I don't like the look of this, not one bit. I know you've only been with us for a few months, but maybe you're aware of the trouble Amy has been having. A small mom-and-pop shop like Rose & Daughters can't compete with the bigger guys. Anyway, don't tell Amy I sent this to you. Also, I'm starving, so I'm going to grab some fast food before taking the hearse through the car wash, 2 birds, 1 stone, and swinging back to the home. Do you want anything? A beef and cheddar? I'm going to take the hearse through the drive-thru, of course. It freaks people out. I love it. They get so awkward. Let me know. I'm heading out in 15 minutes. Why did you forward this to me? Anyway. Meet cutes for death-positive cuties. Charlie, I was doing some reading. I know you hate it when I try to give you dating advice, but hear me out. There's this dating site that's specifically for people working in the death industry. Okay, so maybe I'm a little worried for you. You haven't mentioned anybody new since the breakup of 2014 that we will never speak of again after this moment. But you're always saying how tired you get of people being scared to ask about your day, so maybe meeting somebody in the industry isn't the worst idea. Just promise me you'll consider it, okay? It's harder for me to make sure you're seeing sunlight when I'm all the way across the ocean. I know you look like a babe with pale skin and with witchy gothy aesthetics are super hot right now, but vitamin D is still a good thing. Mom rant over. I'm going to try it out because turns out people get super scared off when you tell them you work in a museum filled with dead bodies. Do you know how not interesting to other people find teratomas? Charlie, I didn't know you were this weird to outside people. I've been spoiled by having a best friend who is as much of a weirdo as I am. Miss you. Let's grab a bottle of wine for our next Skype date. P.S. If you sign up for Dead Meat, isn't that the best name for a death industry dating website? Tinder rules apply. If you have to like me if you come across my profile or whatever. I'm not sure how it works just yet though. Alright. Hi Amy. Thank you for the wonderful evening you and your staff put together for my father's funeral. He wasn't always an easy man to get along with, but I'm glad to have seen him off in such a kind way. Passing on this lovely thank you note. Hello Charlie, today's funeral is for a woman who died from breast cancer. Nothing fancy, just a standard cremation. Please don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions. Alright, let's do that. This is new. Before we cremate Mrs. Hall, we'll need to prepare her body. Mrs. Hall's family brought clothing and jewelry for her to wear. It's important to remove these before the cremation process as to not damage them. Let's start by removing Mrs. Hall's necklace. Click and drag the necklace and place it on the purple tray. We will place the necklace in the urn with Mrs. Hall's remains later. We need to be able to identify Mrs. Hall's remains after she's been cremated. Click and drag the round identification tag and place it in the coffin. Okay. Great. Mrs. Hall is all set to be cremated now. Really? Okay. Is that it? Oh. This is the cremulator. Contrary to popular belief, cremation doesn't turn bodies into ash so much as bone fragments. Using the cremulator... sorry, I had to hiccup. Using the cremulator, we'll break these bone fragments down into ash-like remains. Let's start replacing the urn with the cremulator. Can the urn drag into the okay. And the bone fragments? Oh, Now that all the bones have been processed, click and drag the urn back into the counter. Make sure to put Mrs. Hall's necklace back into the urn, click on the necklace and drag it into the urn. Oh shit. Don't forget the tag, click on the round identification tag and drag it to the urn. Alright, let's just cover this up. All done. Amy will take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. So it's Amy this time doing the thing. This is nice in a weird way. She'd like that we're all here talking. She always tried to keep the family together. The food is delicious. I know that's weird, but these crab cakes are perfect. She would have hated this music. She never wanted her funeral to be sad. She would have wanted us smiling. She said so. This guy's shaking his head. She fought really hard. She was proud of herself. She never gave up, not once. Glad she was cremated and not in like an open casket or something. Seeing her like that, I don't know if I could have. At least we all got to say goodbye. She would have liked that. Pay her respects. Alright, back to work. It is now Feb, you wary. I was on my desk anyway. This is a lot of emails. Keep on protecting Earth with green burials. You've lived your life mindful of the environment, doing your part to reduce pollution and generally help out where you can. So why not continue doing that even in death? At least that's the thinking for a lot of people who are turning to green or natural burials. Natural cemeteries are becoming more popular, and are focused on a few rules. Mainly it's that bodies aren't allowed to be embalmed with chemicals that can damage the environment, and bodies must be buried in a biodegradable shroud or casket. I really thought this was gonna be about the people who wanted to like be planted as trees or something. Anyway. Not only is this better for the environment, it's also cheaper. At Union Cemetery in Ontario, Canada, a natural burial is just over $1,000. So better for the people, the environment, just maybe not so good for big business. Let's not forget people, this is still a business after all. But really, why go green? Green burials help preserve natural resources, work to reduce carbon emissions, protect the health of those preparing bodies, and restore preserved natural habits. Embalming fluids tend to contain formaldehyde, and funeral directors report a higher incidence of leukemia. Going green and not using toxic chemicals for embalming helps protect funeral directors while at the same time lessening the impact we have on the environment after we've gone. We here at Funeral Monthly think green burials are pretty cool. What do you think? Reply and let us know. What is this? This is new. Oh, this is like, what's it called? Minesweeper. Oh shit. Oh shit, how do I? Oh no. What if I, make all these plants? Oh, okay, there we go. Shit, I fucked up already. I just want to know what happens if you win this. What is that? Fuck. I've never been a good Minesweeper player. I'm gonna be honest. I just kind of click indefinitely. And hope I win. Oh my god. Oh my god! This is really hard. Truth be told, I don't actually remember how you play... I mean, the whole logic behind playing Minesweeper, but... I keep getting these. Why do I keep getting these? Anyway, back to the emails. Where was I? A challenger approaches. Charlie, I've been playing a new game when things are slow at work. It's called Tales from the Crypt Sweeper. Okay, that's what I've been playing. Get it? It's like Minesweeper, but way harder. Like, seriously, it's really, really difficult. I know. When I thought my Minesweeper game was on point after working that overnight front desk job at the hotel for 3 years, but I must have gotten rusty. Anyways, instead of mines, you want to avoid graves so you don't disturb the adorable ghosts. The main character also kind of looks like you. Want to start a healthy competition? Highest score gets to pick the restaurant we go to and one of us is in town next. Okay, what's this? I don't know what to do. Hi Amy, I know this email might be a bit odd, but you said if I was ever having troubles I should reach out, and you would know somebody I could talk to about all of this. I don't know what to do now. I know my grandmother had lived a full good life and was very happy, and that she's not in any pain anymore, but I still feel empty. Amy, I've never felt this empty before. What am I supposed to do now? I thought I was stronger than this. Can you refer me to someone to talk to? I don't want to freak out my mom right now. She's dealing with enough with work and the will and trying to just be the best mom she can. I just need somebody to tell me that it'll be okay. Thank you, and I'm sorry for being an inconvenience. I thought I would forward this to you. In situations like this, we typically connect people like Ryan with a grief counselor or other professionals who can really help him. Sometimes we get emails like this when people don't know where else to turn. It's difficult and family isn't always the most reliable for some people. Usually I would be happy to connect him, but I'm feeling a little tired today, not my usual self. And it would be good for you to start building these kinds of relationships on your own. You're a treasure, Charlie. Wait, did I say anything to him? Apparently not. What is this? Hi Amy, you asked if there were any special instructions we wanted to pass along. Just please cremate my father. He has a pacemaker too. The doctor told me that would need to be removed. Hi Charlie, please see the note below about the pacemaker. They can be tricky. Another thing here. Hi Amy, I am so eternally grateful that you were able to accommodate our requests for my sister's funeral. It was a beautiful service and she would have been happy with it. That's such a weird thing to say, isn't it? Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Charlie, I thought you'd like to see this thank you note. News about the future of Rose and Daughter's funeral home. Uh-oh. Hi all, it is with a very heavy heart that I write to let you all know that Rose and Daughters will no longer be in business. I just started working here. I had no idea how to start this email, and resources I googled told me that would be the best and easiest way to break the ice, but be direct but remorseful, Dougal said. The truth is, I don't really know what to say. Since my father passed away, I've done my best to make Rose and Daughters warm and friendly to anyone who chose to use their services. It was my memorial to him, the original Rose, in a lot of ways. And you've all become like family, including you, Charlie, our most recent addition. But it's been getting harder to make ends meet. Rent is going up in the neighborhood, and I'm finding less and less like I have the energy for this business. There's a lot of competition from other funeral homes, larger corporations than we are that can take on more business and offer more impressive services. You know the way it goes. So we've been bought, or I sold. Either way, soon Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporated, a company that owns many funeral homes in the city and across the country, will replace Rose and Daughters, starting from the beginning of next month. Same building, same name. They're keeping the name Rose and Daughters Funeral Home for tax purposes. Though honestly, I'm trying hard not to just see it as a move on their part to keep up the image that it's a family-run business. I don't know how I feel about that, but I also don't know if there's anything I can do at this point either. I've signed the papers, at least my father's legacy is still intact somewhat. They have a good reputation and have agreed to keep you all on. That was one of my stipulations. I would sell as long as you all weren't without a job. Sorry I didn't tell you in a more personal way. I would have loved to have a company lunch, but I didn't have the heart to tell you in person. This was easier for me, please understand. Oh, so it's shutting down, but it's not really shutting down. Okay. Let's take care of this. So this time it's a cremation with a pacemaker. Mr. Reyes came directly from the hospital, so we don't have to worry about removing any valuables from him, as the family did not provide any for us to include. However, Mr. Reyes has a pacemaker that will need to be removed before cremation. Because pacemakers are batteries, they will explode inside the hot heat of the cremation machine, and we definitely don't want that. Let's start by removing Mr. Reyes' pacemaker. Fuck. Alright. Good. Get that out. Put it away. Alright. Let's go. Over here. Using the cremulator will break down the bone fragments. There we go. Oh yeah, this. It's here. Right. New people? Did you ever end up clearing the air with your father? No, we talked a few times, but not really. He sounded like a difficult man. He was stubborn. That's just it. Stubborn. What do you want to do after this? It's pretty nice out. Let's change and go and find a patio somewhere. Sounds good. I could really use a beer right now. Hey, did I ever tell you the time we tailgated? There's always some dude alone in the corner. I wonder if he ever liked me. He was nice to me, but I don't know. He never seemed like he really cared if I was there or not. I always told him to quit smoking, but of course he never listened to me, so that figures. I see. Okay, so we're still under the same company for now. Things to avoid saying at a funeral. Welcome back! Now we rarely do listicles here, but for this month's newsletter we thought a listicle would be the best way to deliver this month's advice, what not to say at a funeral. We know figuring out the right thing to say to a grieving friend can be extremely difficult, and since it's such a personal issue, it's hard to give specific advice. Some things will be more comforting to other people, but fortunately rather, we can deliver a little bit more solid advice on what to not say to someone who is grieving. So here it is. Funerals Monthly's top 5 things to not say at a funeral. 1. At least they're no longer suffering. Even if this is true, nobody wants to hear this. It's probably not your place to dictate. Who wants to be told that the death of somebody they love is for the best? Like I said, even if it's true, don't be that jerk and just don't say it. Were they saved? No religious statements. Just don't. Why? Because not everyone agrees with your religious views, and not only is not always comforting, it can also be insulting. They're with the angels now. See above's note, then rinse and repeat. Let me know how I can help. This one is tricky. You want to help, but those in mourning won't always ask for help. If you want to help, suggest specific things. For example, I'm free if you need someone to babysit the kids. Actions are better than passive statements. Cook something for them, take them to their favorite restaurant, or buy tickets to see a movie together. 5. I know how you feel. Even if you think you do, everyone grieves differently. Don't focus this on yourself. Empathy doesn't involve having to commiserate. Sometimes people will want to hear your experiences, but don't assume they will. Ask first. For a quicker version of this list that can be applied in any situation, don't say stuff just for the sake of saying stuff. Just say I'm sorry if you don't know what else to say. And then now mushrooms. Mushrooms. You hate mushrooms so much I found the perfect thing for you. I've been thinking about death. I know, shocker, look what you've done to me. I think I want this mushroom suit. No, it's not called that, but I can't remember the name of it. And I'm writing it on my phone so I don't feel like I'm Googling it right now. Okay. Anyways, the idea is that it's a biodegradable suit that the deceased wears. It's made with what people call a biomix. I'm getting worse at reading. I.e. mushrooms and other microorganisms that help to decompose bodies, neutralize toxins in the body, and provide nutrients for the soil for plants. I think this one company even offers casket liners for use in green caskets. I think this is what I want. It'll be just like Hannibal. What? Wait, don't tell people I said that, okay? But seriously, it's pretty cool. I love all the death innovation happening. We might as well do something when we're in the ground, you know? Love you. Think about it and let me know your thoughts. I want all of your thoughts. If it's not this, then maybe I'll have my ashes made into jewelry, but seriously, I'm probably going to do this. There's no harm in planning ahead, am I right? Thank you for the service of the other month, and apologize if I was abrupt. It was kind of a shock for me. I didn't feel comfortable with the whole process. He wasn't supposed to die yet. It hasn't been easy. Okay. Oh, now there's 2 responses. Good day, Miss Rose. Disregard our son's will as it concerns matters of his burial. He was clearly not thinking right and didn't know what he really wanted. Proceed with an open casket funeral. As for payment, we'll bring a check. Charlie, I was hoping you wouldn't have to confront the situation, yet anyways, they're never easy. Rose and daughters have been asked to prepare the body of a young man who took his own life. He had a will prepared and asked for cremation, but the family has demanded a traditional burial instead. Oh shit. Unfortunately, he didn't make anyone his power of attorney, or didn't have any witnesses sign his living will or his advance directive regarding these wishes, so his family is legally in the right to do whatever they want with his body. It's unfortunate, but we have to do as his family wishes. Matthew has graciously offered to take this on if you are uncomfortable with the subject. Instead, we have a second body you can prepare. For a funeral we're hosting later in the afternoon. Charlie, is this suicide something you're comfortable dealing with? Let me know, I'm here if you need me. I thought it was gonna give me the option of just not doing, of like, you know, just cremating him anyway, but... Man, why would you do this, though? Why would you... Anyway, let's do the other body. Okay. The deceased family has asked for an open casket funeral. Let's start by cleaning the body. Alright, oops, wrong thing. Clean her up. Glue it shut. Sew it up. Okay, okay. I'll do this whole thing again. My leg is falling asleep. See. Sew that up. Okay. Why are there 2 tubes? I don't know. All done. Alright. She's no longer suffering or in pain. Oof. That's the thing the newsletter said not to say. Yeah. She's in a better place now. She was too good for this world. Okay, thanks, Aunt Sandy. I haven't cried since she died. Not once. How is Anna crying and not me? I'm the one who lost a parent. Quiet sobs. Where's Maria? She couldn't be here. She didn't want to see her mother's body. I mean, I don't blame her. Anyway, I'm pretty impressed with the food. Did you try the amaretti? Shaking head guy again. Doesn't look like her at all. Well, I'm sorry. I tried my best, okay? Alright, now here's where the company takes over, right? Different funeral traditions. Funeral rites. This is a new thing. Hillside Heritage. Rose and Daughters is the newest funeral home to join Hillside Heritage, proudly serving 56 different communities nationwide since 1964. Rose and Daughters features several available packages for burials and cremations, a spacious visitation suite for added comfort, and catering available on site. Rely on our dedicated and friendly staff to help you with your funeral needs, whether you need our immediate assistance for a loved one or would like to pre-plan your own final arrangements. Every size of gathering and budget, ask us about our selection of caskets, urns, headstones, the largest in the country. Bronze Funeral Package, an intimate gathering and memorial for your loved one, customized to fit your individual needs, best suited for groups of 25 to 50. Silver Funeral Package, a small but special celebration for your loved one, best suited for groups of 50 to 100. A Gold Funeral Package, give your loved one the best with the best we have to offer. A large gathering to celebrate your loved one, best suited for groups over 100. Alright, so yeah, it's completely different now. Funeral rites, even in our own culture, may be something, or maybe something many of us may be unfamiliar with. For many people, all they know of a funeral tradition are what they've seen in media. But, and I think this goes without saying, funeral rites and traditions aren't the same across the board. Different cultures have different protocols for cleaning the body to different aspects of the service itself. Religion provides different paths for dealing with the death. But the goal is almost always the same, offering support, guidance, and ease to the people who are grieving. In Judaism, interment usually begins immediately after somebody has passed. Up until burial, the body is never supposed to be alone, so often families will appoint a shomer, a guardian, to remain with the body. Preparations for burial begin as soon as possible in Muslim traditions as well. Local Islamic community organizations are also often involved and help the family make arrangements to the funeral service and burial. But not all practices are strictly religiously focused. In the aughts in South Korea, the amount of graveyard space began to shrink drastically, causing a law to be passed that required families to remove a loved one's body from its burial place after 60 years. Many families begin to cremate more often, but there are also companies that compress remains into beads in turquoise, pink, or black called death beads. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know they did that. This also occurs in North America, Europe, and Japan, but remains much more common in South Korea because of the space issue in graveyards and the expenses of cremation. And not all practices are somber either. Ever hear of the turning of the bones or Famadihana? A ritual by the Malagasy people of Madagascar? Famadihana has families return to an ancestral crypt, exhume the bodies wrapped in cloth before dancing with the bodies to lively music. This practice is a celebration, remembrance, and way of keeping the deceased involved in family news. Okay. Death can be a difficult time for people, or can be a difficult time for many people, obviously, but that doesn't mean there isn't a beauty in the ways we choose to honor and celebrate our deceased. Wow. I did not know any of this. But, okay, that's interesting. Death Cafe. Come increase awareness of death with a view to helping people make the most of their finite lives. Join us, have tea and cake, and talk with others about our thoughts, fears, and illuminations on death. The founder of the Death Cafe movement, John Underwood, once said, "When people talk about death and dying, it tends to illustrate their humanity. See everyone at the Upside Down Jar next Saturday. Or next Thursday." Can't really write much right now. I have a lot of work I have to do with an inguinal hernia from 1750. It's the oldest in our collection, and you can even see this bit of paper the surgeon put in after removing the hernia. Super cool. I'll send you the link when we have it cataloged. What is my life? What is the sentence I just typed? But anyway, this event that I'm forwarding you is taking place near you. Figured you'd be into it. Might help with that feeling of restlessness you were talking about before. Could be good to talk about some of the things you're feeling. Lots of death-positive people there. Sounds like it'll be a safe space. Okay, it's the new guy. What is this? Can I just say, first off, that this is bullcrap. Knowing how these corporations run, I wouldn't be surprised if they're monitoring our emails now. No, okay, I don't really believe that. I'm just upset. I get that Amy didn't have much of a choice. You can only fight a huge corporation taking all of your business for so long. This isn't 6 feet under. And they just swooped in, and now I have to deal with their BS practices. They're colder than the corpse I picked up from the morgue this morning. Who charges this much for funerals? It feels dirty and exploitive. Let's grab a drink after work. I need to blow off some steam, and emails aren't really the most appropriate place to do this. Too late for me, I guess. P.S. If you're reading this, Hillside Overlord, good. He's so mad. What's this? Welcome. We are pleased to bring on Rose and Daughters as part of the Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. They will be another institution amongst hundreds of other properties owned across the country. But of course, as part of the adjustment process of the Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. culture, there will be a number of changes that will come to Rose and Daughters. We will send out the memo regarding the specifics and details of these changes, and we expect them to be followed impeccably. Glad to be leading the way for Rose and Daughters from now on. But I want Amy back. What is this? Thank you, Mr. Grant, for agreeing to take care of Jocelyn's cremation. The bike accident was, okay. It was more than I was expecting. I know she wanted to be cremated, and to be honest, I don't think I could bear seeing her like that after what happened. Charlotte, below are the details for our next client. Ensure you follow the requested specifications exactly. After you are done, I will review your work in order to properly evaluate you at the end of the month. He's so callous, I hate him already. I'll get right to it, you bitch. I miss Amy. Prepare Miss Ionesco's body for cremation. Right, get this out. And it's in. And we're done. In she goes. Take care of this. Okay. Oops. There we go. Now it's Matthew taking care of all the stuff. There's more people here. I think. Should we do a vigil at the spot? Careless drivers, I swear to God. She was always so careful. Wore her helmet, signaled, used the bike lanes. Asshole drivers need to pay attention. Have you heard what's happening to the driver? No, I haven't wanted to ask Leia. This has been hard enough on them without asking about the legal ramifications of all of this. Yeah, after all this, let's see what we can do to help them. Shouldn't deal with the death of their partner all by themselves. I have to go through all of her things. How am I supposed to decide what to keep? If you need help, I can help. No. Thanks, but no, I don't know. It's so intimate. Feels like I should do it myself. She would kill me if others saw the things we have. Yeah, she was kind of a closed book. Except to you. Yeah, she was special. Man. I'm glad I'm here, but wow, I just need a glass of wine and to binge watch something right now. What about you? So glad it was a cremation. I would have lost it seeing her body. Alright. Am I getting my assessment? Alright, what's this? Rules and Code of Conduct. Hello, as stated in a previous email, here are the new rules and Code of Conduct I expect you to follow from now on while on any premises belonging to Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. First and foremost, there is a required uniform and strict dress code from now on. Second, most importantly to this is that no tattoos are to be visible. Hey, you bitch! I have a tattoo. If you have visible tattoos, ensure they are properly covered and hidden. When speaking with customers and clients, consider the opportunity to upsell, i.e. always encourage the deceased's loved ones to purchase the higher quality package. The fuck? We find that encouraging loved ones to think of the comfort and style of the deceased as an experience and with no price limit to it. Additionally, food is no longer allowed Our food is no longer allowed to be brought in. Instead, encourage the deceased's loved ones to purchase our premium sandwich and appetizer food package. Our partner, Catering Concepts, provides high-quality food that will be delivered weekly from their factory and can easily be defrosted in the morning of the funeral. I expect all of the above changes to be instituted effective immediately to ensure a smooth transition to the high-quality services Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. is known for. You mean callous services. I hate you. Charlie, I need a drink. Beer after work. P.S. Also, I really want mozzarella sticks. I can be both hungry and angry. And no, I will not say hangry, ever. Who the fuck is this? Oh, it's him. Hello Charlotte, I have reviewed your request on behalf of a potential family inquiring if we at Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. can and will perform green burials. I should have informed you of this in the beginning, but we do not perform green burials as they are not cost effective. Well, fuck you. All employees and subsidiaries of Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. must comply. We do not wish to lose potential customers though, so do try your hardest to convince the families requesting green burials to instead choose a traditional burial package, complete with embalming, caskets, vaults instead. I trust you will ensure we do not lose any customers, Charlotte. What is this? Charlotte, I am proud to announce that Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. received a contract with the city to dispose of any unclaimed bodies. This is an important revenue stream for us, as I'm sure I don't need to explain to you, Charlotte. Although Hillside Heritage Enterprises is being paid a decent wage from the city for those services, cremation is preferred here as it is the most cost-efficient of the two options. The first unclaimed body we will be handling belongs to a middle-aged man, possibly homeless, whose body has yet to be claimed. No special preparations are needed for this cadaver aside from the cremation. Jesus Christ. Dr. Zaius? I just saw a video of a gorilla walking on its hind legs. Like a human being, Charlie. A human being. We as a species have seen the beginning of our end. Alright. Home funerals, why do it? The appeal of a home funeral is apparent for many, especially if the deceased was somebody very close to you. The idea of keeping them at home until they are ready to be buried or cremated can be comforting. It wasn't that long ago that we were taking care of our own deceased, but nowadays people are quick to pass off their loved ones to a funeral home. Most families aren't given that option and assume this is mandatory. Funeral homes will always prepare the deceased using embalming and other methods to make them appear more alive. But isn't this process counterintuitive to the grieving process? Being around the deceased allows the bereaved to spend a longer period of time with their loved one's body, which can help them mourn or give opportunities to family members and friends to see the deceased one last time, before they are taken to be buried or cremated. The idea of keeping the deceased body at home might sound gross, but it's important to understand that decomposition takes a long time, and you can further slow this process by keeping your home cool and dry. To be around your loved ones and to see them decay naturally is an important part of the grieving process. Home funerals aren't just more intimate, but they are economical. A traditional funeral, complete with body preparation, service, flowers, cards, and many other hidden costs and fees, can cost upwards of $7,000 to $10,000. When you're able to take care of your loved one yourself, to wash and dress them, and to organize their viewing from home, the only cost remaining is entirely in the cremation or burial itself. However, it's important to understand that different rules apply given on what state you live in. In all states, it is legal to have your loved one's body at home after they die. States like Alabama, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Nebraska, New Jersey, and New York require a funeral director's involvement, from signing the death certificate to overseeing burial or cremation. If this is a route you decide to go for yourself or your loved ones, make sure you follow everything by the book, but just note that this may be an option available to you and your loved one if you so choose. Okay, let's just take care of this. Stupid fucking Chad. Fucking hate Chad. Bear's body doesn't seem to have any valuables on him that would be damaged, so let's just worry about putting his identification tag. Alright. Cremate. And then the usual business. All done. Matthew will take the urn to the funeral parlor and yeah. Okay, let's go. Oh, right. Right. Okay, I guess that's all. And it's now the next month. I bet Matthew's gonna quit at some point. What is this? What is your business? Enter a keyword, select the best match. Register your business. If you're interested in starting a funeral services business, you may need the following permits and licenses. There's nothing in this list. Are we looking to make our own business? Okay, Hello all, we are thrilled to announce that Hillside Heritage Enterprises subsidiary Rose and Daughters just signed a contract with Morning Valley Hospital, allowing us access to all the cadavers that come through their pediatric and maternity wards. We're excited for the opportunity to work with Morning Valley Hospital, which intakes over 100,000 patients and receives over $15 million in funding and donations annually. This will no doubt be a boon for Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc.'s bright and sustained future. Charlie, it's official. I've put in my 2 weeks notice. Oh, okay, I just said he was... Okay, yeah. You know how unhappy I am working for Mega Corporation 101. My skills, especially my driving ones, are useful in other professions. I am not worried about myself. But you I am worried about. You're too good for this corporate scum. You actually care about the people you work with and for. Don't let them defeat you, Kay? P.S. I'll bring beers over next week. We can talk a bit more freely. Oh, what is this? I kissed her. Dating a special effects makeup artist, and she is like the coolest person I've ever met in my life. She totally loves Ava's possession and was equally freaked out by the possession scenes, but so utterly delighted at the idea of a support group for people who have been possessed. That was your best recommendation in a while, Charlie. You were slipping there. I was getting worried you had lost your taste. But yeah, her name is Lily and she's super death positive and isn't freaked out by my work and also isn't too into it like that last dude I saw. Jason? Michael? I can't remember. I just really like spending time around her. I can talk about whatever I want and it's never a conversation stopper. She also totally gets what I mean when I say that, like, working with death and spending so much time thinking about death actually makes me happier. It makes everything else feel so much more worth it, you know? Memento mori or whatever they taught us in that one poetry class we took. We just clicked. Feels good, fun and affirming, like dating should be. I'm thinking of taking her to Maple Meadows. She's super into roller coasters and I think the idea of sharing cotton candy, or maybe not, I don't want to throw up on the sides, is sickeningly cute. Then maybe I'll kiss her on top of a Ferris wheel. Be super corny and cliche for once in my life. Anywho, enough about me, for now. I'm still kind of in shock from your last email. Do you think you're going to do it? You know you have my support 100% no matter what you decide, so I think I am trying to make a business. Anyway, water everywhere and not a drop to drink. Water cremation. You can call it a few different things like flameless cremation, a bit of an oxymoron but we'll let it slide, or perhaps more commonly resomation. Its technical name though is actually alkaline hydrolysis. Whatever you want to call it, it's here and it's an environmentally friendly alternative to traditional cremation. But for the sake of this newsletter, let's call it water cremation. We all know that traditional cremation burials take a huge toll onto the environment, the high energy consumption that adds to the greenhouse gas effect being one of the chief amongst them, and water cremation is an alternative method available for the eco-conscious amongst. How does it work? It's basically a water-based chemical process that uses really strong alkali in water heated up very high, about 350 Fahrenheit. It basically works like a sped-up version of natural decomposition. The excess water gets put through the same water treatment process as any sewage water at a factory, and alkaline hydrolysis uses significantly less energy than traditional cremation processes. Neat, huh? It's been around for a bit, and in some places became legal around the end of the first decade of the aughts. Not a bad alternative for those who don't want their death to have any greater impact on the environment than necessary. Huh. Alright, here we go. This is kinda long. Dear Mr. Grant, regarding the last time we spoke, my daughters and I would still prefer to host a home funeral ourselves and keep my wife here until she's ready to be buried. I just want to make sure she is taken care of. Her heart attack was so sudden, we don't know what to do. We just want to make sure she has a proper send-off. Dear Mr. Dimka, I understand your desire to keep your wife at home, but I assure you the best way to honor your wife is through a traditional funeral package instead. I promise you your wife's funeral with us will be a beautiful, intimate gathering where all of her beloved friends and family can come together and say their goodbyes. A standard embalming will allow for everyone to view your wife, ensuring that everyone can see her one final time as she was, beautiful, peaceful, and courageous. Letting us take care of the food with our prepared food service will ensure you don't have a single thing to worry about in this day. You and your daughters are going through a hard time right now. Let us here at Rose and Daughters make this difficult time a little easier for you. Shut the fuck up. Dear Mr. Grant, okay, we'll take the traditional funeral package. Thank you for considering us in this hard time. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is terrible. Charlotte, I see you were not able to convince the Dimka family to take a standard funeral. I had to contact them myself in order to not lose the sale. Please read the enclosed emails for a lesson how to properly upsell potential customers. I don't want to see that we've lost any customers because of your refusal to upsell. That is part of your job. Shut the fuck up. I should just quit. I should just make that a company like my friends were telling me to. Or whatever. Ask for an open casket. Let's clean the body. Alright. Man. Do that. I honestly find it a little bit weird that there's like a business aspect to this at all. But anyway. Let's get that done. Oopsie. Sew that up. All right. Let's go. To the usual. I'm starving. Why do these things always make me so hungry? You're always hungry. Imagine if it was the same girl in every single funeral here. This feels so impersonal. She would have hated this. I know. Yeah, but I don't know. They must have had their reasons. Oh hey, what did you think of that trailer I sent you? Oh yeah, I've heard that show was so good. I saw that video of that one kid actor doing karaoke. In a car? With what's his name? Do you think we did the right thing? I feel bad not doing what Mom asked for. I know, honey, but what that Chad guy said seems right. We don't want to dishonor her memory by letting her rot. Yeah, I just want Mom to know I loved her. Wish I hadn't yelled at her before. It's okay, she knew you loved her. Fights happen, please don't be hard on yourself. I'm going to miss her. Me too. Boy, you were cheated. You were cheated. Okay? It's so cold in here. I think they have the air conditioning on too high. Yeah, let's go for a walk later. It's really nice out. It would be nice to stretch my legs. Oh, you were cheated. Fucking Chad. Stupid dumb Chad. That is a big time skip. Oh. Different office? Charlie dear, I am so proud of you. I knew there was something special in you when I hired you for Rose and Daughters. If there is anything I can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask. I am always happy to help. Best wishes, Amy Rose. P.S. I sorely miss you and Matthew's terrible sense of humor. You'll never believe what new job I am working now. Open this email to find out. Hey Charlie, when I first became a hearse driver, I was told about that my most important job wasn't steering, it was sympathizing. I respectfully disagree, and thankfully I concentrated on my driving skills since I'm now working as a, wait for it, bus driver. A school bus driver, Charlie. Can you believe that? Pretty sure if I said the most important part of my job now wasn't steering, I'd be fired immediately. I didn't know how else to tell you. For some reason I was worried you'd think less of me, but I don't know why. You've never been the judgmental kind. And besides, corpses are way easier to deal with than children. Screaming children, might I add. I actually love it. These kids can be pretty cute, but don't tell Amy that I told you that. She was always harping on me for not having any kids and for being all cynical about them. Congrats on your new business, Charlie. I'm proud of you. I'll swing by your new place one day and show you my new wheels. Maybe we can grab a bite to eat. Be seeing you. Thanked the bus driver. Charlie, I am so happy for you. I know it's been a rough year for you. Seriously, I think our wine intake saw a bazillion% increase, but you've stuck through it like a champ. You deserve this. Finally being your own boss is a great move for you. No more having to explain anything you don't want to. I'm trying to not be too cheesy right now. Can't wait to be home next week for our visit and to check out your new space. Have you heard about these green burial pods? When I find the link in my 1 million open tabs, I'll shoot it over for you. Alright, what's this? Eileen Hansen. Dear Charlie, today's the day already, isn't it? I can't believe how quickly this has come up. Thank you for your understanding and for your work. You've made today easier already. See you at 1 p.m. What is this, another funeral? Oh my god, I forgot to look at the other tab. Oh, I can look at it now. Magnolia Forest. Funeral home and natural burial park. We believe in being transparent about our prices and practices. We are happy to explain all of our prices, work within your budget, and hope to make you feel comfortable and confident in your decisions. Let us know if we can answer any of your questions. Home funeral, $1,000. Oh. Green burial and service. Direct cremation. Infants are buried at no charge. We can provide a 3x3 plot and help opening and closing the grave. Magnolia Forest, named after the magnolia trees that surround the funeral home, specializes in at-home funerals and green burials in our natural burial park. Our goal is to empower families and encourage them to have a closer relationship with death and dying process. The death of a loved one can be a confusing and sometimes traumatic time, and we want you to feel fully involved in your loved one's death care decisions. Whether you're looking to care for your loved one from the comfort of your home, be present during their cremation, or bury them in our natural cemetery, Magnolia Forest is here to work with you and provide these simple but intimate and meaningful options. Natural Burial Park. Our natural burial park allows the body to return to the earth and recycle naturally. It's intended as an environmentally sustainable alternative to existing funeral practices. Our park has room for bodies of all sizes and ages as well as beloved pets. Families also have the option to bury their loved ones themselves if they so choose. Huh. Yeah, that's so much better. Fuck Chad. And I'm wearing a different dress. Not really how you dig and bury shit, but you know what? Sure. This hurts. I thought it'd be easier, but it's not. It hurts so much, but thank you for helping me give her the funeral she always wanted. Anyway, I think we're ready to get started now. Kind of a weird way to shovel, but... Okay. So that was a Mortician's Tale. Very simple. straightforward game, very short, but very pretty. And I'm really glad I was able to give that FU to Chad in the end. And she opened up her own business. It's always great. I feel like this game was more of an experience, if anything, and it really was pretty fun. I do like it visually, the visual aspect is very pretty. And yeah, you don't really see a lot of games that explore this topic the way this game does. And also, I've learned a lot of new things about, like funerals and like the death industry and stuff through this game. There are a lot of things I did not know. So yeah, that was pretty fun to learn about. But anyway, that's all for this game. And I'll see you when I start scrolling through my other 1,000 games from the Racial Equality and Justice bundle that you should be buying. Haha. Anyway, bye.